DUTCHSINSE here. 4:38 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday, June 12th, 2012. And we're looking at telecast here. I have the Continental Radar View turned on, plus Titan Storm Tracking, and National Weather Service alerts. Now there's two spots that are going to stand out to you right off the bat. That's these two red triangles. Those are possible tornadoes detected by the computer. Also, the National Weather Service has issued severe thunderstorm warnings associated with this. This is possible tornado and damaging hail just south of North Platte, heading east-northeast. Now this was expected. There was a harp ring outbreak 2 days ago in this area directly, and the tornado is heading directly towards the North Harp Ring. So that was expected. Nebraska being hit right now with damaging winds, hail, and possible tornadoes. Then going down through Colorado, eastern New Mexico, western Texas, western Oklahoma, a series of strong cell thunderstorms, damaging winds, and hail. Once you get down here to Houston, you can also see a possible tornado and hail heading directly towards downtown Houston. That's also associated hail and damaging winds, very strong cell thunderstorms. National Weather Service has issued those warnings already, so be alert that's going on. Then, on the East Coast, Florida, Georgia, South and North Carolina, West Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania, and all of New England damaging cells, but there's no warnings issued with these yet. However, there is hail associated, damaging winds, and strong cell thunderstorms. Then once you get up here into Canada, just north of Montreal, south to Toronto, a series of strong cell thunderstorm warnings and watches, also hail and damaging winds associated with that. And finally, out here out west, let's go ahead and turn on the cloud cover, and you'll get a good idea of what's going on here overall. All right. So here's our two disturbances in the Midwest, the remnants of that last storm coming up the East Coast, and then look at this mess out here out west. Okay, we have two things going on. We have a southern draw coming up from the south, and then a huge conglomeration of clouds and two low pressure systems coming in on the west coast. To see that, let's go on to College of DuPage. We'll go to the hemispheric products, go to the northern hemisphere, and we'll click on infrared for the last 48 images. Once that loads, we can turn on color enhancement, and that'll give you a better idea of what's going on. So we have two huge outbreak areas here. Of course, down to the south, this is a tropical flow. You can see the color key on the right. So it looks like this might actually turn into some kind of tropical system here any minute now. Over the next 24 hours, I would say we'd have to watch this for the possibility that this could pick up rotation and head back towards Mexico. If that does, it will become its own tropical storm and possibly a hurricane. Up to the north, you can see it pushing in from the Pacific Northwest, breaking just northeast of Hawaii, so be aware that that's going to come down on the west coast over the next 2 days. Overall, have a severe weather plan ready, and be prepared, folks. This is already starting to get very severe. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so there are 2 possible tornadoes detected already and multiple spots where there's hail and damaging winds. If you get any confirmation on the tornadoes, folks, let me know, okay? Hang in.
Live, this is One for the Record. I'm Diana, and today is June 12th, 2012. It is Monday evening, and that was DUTCHSINSE, and he had a special alert for everyone out there. So I figured I should play that. Hopefully that turned up all right for you guys. Not sure. And let's move on with the rest of the news. Alrighty then, let's go to earthchanges.net. Slow, aren't we, computer? Slow computer today. SOT.net. Southern half of Western Australia braces for second cyclonic 125 kilometers per hour blast. Also, if this would move, I can tell you what the also is. Rare tornado hits Venice, Italy. Also, China's Wuhan city covered in sudden mysterious yellow haze. They don't know where that's from. Sri Lanka geologists say a new tectonic plate being created in the region. And speaking on tectonic plates, I was watching a video, and it was talking about the ancients, and it was geared more to the Native Americans and reconnecting with Mother Earth and all that. And they were saying that because of the fracking and because people have taken so much oil out of the earth, that that if there is and when there is a pole shift, the plates are not going to move smoothly, and there's going to be big problems if we do go into a pole shift because the oil's not in there anymore. They let the plates and everything slide smoothly, and that's why it's shaking and earthquakes and jaggedness. And you know, you took the oil out just like in your car. What happens when you do that? Valves don't move very well anymore. Alrighty, now getting back to SOT.net. Update: Afghans feared 80 dead after earthquake triggers landslide. So 80 might be dead. It's terrible. Guatemala's Fuego volcano erupts. NASA predicts lowest sunspot max in 100 years. Massive swells set stage for unforgettable big wave surfing session. I might want to show you this picture. Let me see if I can get this picture for you. So it doesn't say who did it, so I guess anyone. And this was held in Tavarua. Here we go. Let me see if you can see this. Ugh, get stuck here. This is Paul Bagley technology. There, let's see. Hopefully you can see this. I'll hold it like that. Excellent picture. Gosh, it's cool. I hope you can see it. What a wave and the little people down there. Doesn't even look real, and there's a surfboard up on top. Okay, let's go back. Oh. I wanted you to see that picture. I'm going to figure another way of doing some of this so it's not so cheesy, you know. I'll get the pictures to you. I got to figure out how I can get it directly onto the screen, feed it in that way. And then I'm also going to have to pre-record things so the sound doesn't start. There's a delay on it for some reason, and it's still gargling. So heads up, YouTube, and people who post things on YouTube, there's some kind of sound delay. So you're hearing gargling when you try to mirror stuff. When I mirrored DUTCHSINSE's alert so everyone can see it. Alrighty, then let's see if the camera's back alright real quick. Very slow moving. Where are you? There you are. Okay, we're back. Alrighty. Let's see what else is on SOT.net. That might be it. Let's move on. Freak hailstorm hits Durban, South Africa. Let's see if there's anything else. Even more rain forecast for flooded Florida Gulf Coast, and I did that yesterday. Let me make sure there's nothing else. No, let's get rid of SOT.net. We'll move a little faster as I close these. The Extinction Protocol 2012 and beyond. Let's see what we got here. storm of the century. Europe talks about limiting ATM withdrawals as crisis threatens to unravel Eurozone. Well, maybe it's not good to have all your eggs in one basket. Can you imagine? You can't do it because if everything goes down at once, that's terrible. So you gotta have diversity in different ways of doing stuff. So they're limiting the size of withdrawals from ATM machines. Heads up, don't think it's not coming our way. If you might have to get in, and pay bills and everything, and they're going to tell you when they're going to give you your money back and how much to take out. Oh no, might be time to just run with cash, No more weird stuff, and you hold on to your own money. Obviously, they're mishandling the money. And that was out of the Irish Times. Spanish bank deal will fall apart in a month. Banks downgraded, yields rise. Rare tornado again. Rare tornado hits Venice, Italy. See what else is on here. Bizarre ice storm lashes Donegal, Ireland in June. Winter-like scene, ending heat waves. Shows snow all over the place. Monster storms. Southern half of Western Australia braces for second cyclonic 125 kilometer per hour blast. Okay. Again about China's Wuhan city covered in mysterious haze. Some of this is duplicated from SOT. And deep 5.4 magnitude earthquake strikes Sundan Strait. Middle East powder keg concerns mount over the spark that could engulf the region in a nightmare scenario. And again about the strange spiral light seen in night skies over the Middle East, likely a Russian missile. I like the way they say likely, meaning they don't know. It's a wormhole of some sort. Okay, that's it. Yes, Max. You can tell when Mommy gets upset from some weird news. They don't really report on stuff. They want to give weird explanations. Also, when I was talking about if you turn off your power because of the smarty meters, remember, you should have the 2-liter bottles. I put it in the comments from yesterday, in case you don't read comments. You take 2-liter soda bottles, okay? Fill them with water. And even well water is hard water, so it seems like it stays colder longer. And what you do is you fill up the 2-liter bottles, and on the first shelf, that's not really on the rack, but under the rack, the first shelf in your freezer, and it has to be a top freezer. What you do is you line that with the soda bottles. So when the refrigerator's off, it works just like an old ice box when they used to put the giant ice cubes in, because the cold will go downward. It will travel downward and keep your refrigerator okay. That's good for emergencies also, in case you do have a power outage. Hurricane hits it'll buy you, quite some time to go ahead and eat everything in the freezer first. Alrighty then. Next we'll go into, let me see here, E-Energy News. Here we go about Fukushima. And I don't want to start screaming about it, but here we go. Well-known Japanese actor leaving country because of spent fuel pool number 4 at Fukushima. Burning of debris. See, that's what you do. Heads up, you watch all your famous people. If they leave, you know it's time to go. no matter where they are. They usually have the inside line on, because they have the money and they got the intel on when to go. Get out of the way. Analysts. Cost of admitting the truth about Fukushima is so great that Japan wouldn't admit it. Enough to make you question whether to live in Tokyo. Do you really have to question it if you did your research, if you should be living in Tokyo? Do you really have to question that? Come on now. It is a great agony to live in a contaminated area. I lost hope to live. We are struggling hard to suppress our insuppressible feelings. Here we go. Wall Street Journal starts Fukushima watch. For juicy details lurking in reporters' notebooks. Readers have an obsession. The obsession was to get the information out continuously. Wall Street Journal. Do you understand? They suppressed everything that now they have like a soap opera going, and they're gonna come out with news that's like some of it's gonna be a year, maybe a year and a half old now. You see? Oh, juicy details? No. Crimes against humanity. You didn't report when you should have reported. That's what I have to say. Wall Street Journal suppressed the news until now for juicy details. Juicy details my ass. And I had some other words I was going to say and then maybe bleep them out. But this is the internet. I could say them now. But I'm going to hold back my anger towards these, there's no freedom of the press. They're going to release it now because it's about time it's over. Here's another one. Japanese Times interview. In some ways, I believe Fukushima exceeds level 7 rating as there are 4 reactors involved. It's more than 4 reactors. Japan Times idiots. Incompetent. That's all I got to say. No, I'm not going to be diplomatic. There's more than 4 reactors because you got all the spent fuel pools too. Alrighty then? Aren't there a lot of spent fuel pools? Oh, isn't it something like there's 12 different places on there? And then another one off to the side that's like some mother lode of everything combined. Where do you, in some ways, I believe Fukushima exceeds level 7. You had the guy from France over there telling you that even a 10-year-old kid, they knew right away. In some ways, no, in every way. This is like a level 14. One for the record states that we believe, in our opinion, which is myself, Diana Marks believes it's a level 14, if not higher. Because this is like thousands of times worse. It has never stopped. It was never encased. You let it keep going up until now. Point and date and time, it's going now. It's been going since 3/11. Right? What? Am I wrong? It's been over a year. You got debris. We didn't have any Russian debris coming in off the ocean. We didn't have barges going into Oregon. We don't have the size of debris that's twice the size of California coming in. Do we? You're lucky I'm saying it's a level 14. Russians didn't sit there and burn debris all over the place and keep putting it in the atmosphere, did they? No. This is crimes against humanity. And the news media, when we're done, they're all getting put in jail. if they don't die from the radiation poisoning. Do you get what I'm saying? I typed in zombienews.com to see if I could have sworn that's where I saw it. And you know what's under zombienews.com when I put that in the address box? First thing that came up was New York Times. Then all the regular somehow they have not zombie news as part of the regular media. That's one, they all use that as their search engine. Tags to search for their papers and stuff. Mainstream media, zombie news. Yeah, thanks a lot. Better check it out. Because I was just looking for the real zombie news, see if there's any more updates on crazy things. And then first thing came up, New York Times. And then it came up with some other, headline news. It never came up with the real zombie, zombie news. Because I want to hear if any more people are getting bit out there. Professor measuring contamination warns police of high radiation levels in area. Commander responds slander. Listen to these. Again, crimes against humanity. Commander responds slander. No, go ahead and kill all the police that you have inside the radiation areas. That's a smart thing, isn't it? You're gonna send your crew out there to protect what? To protect the debris area that's full of radiation? Someone's trying to warn you and you yell slander? Really? That's what this article is stating. We'll read it again. Professor measuring contamination warns police of high radiation levels in area. So who do you think is more apt to tell you that there's who do you think is a professor is measuring this, tries to warn the police, and the commander, of the police, says, oh, slander. What the hell does that mean? He's trying to warn you dumbed down idiots over there who already probably has, radiation poisoning. You can't think straight. You're going to yell slander and get the rest of your crew killed out there instead of heeding the warning? Well, okay, listen, TEPCO. This is a message for TEPCO that says nothing's wrong. They have it under control. Maybe the board of directors, the executive board, and the board of directors needs to go to the plant on site. Since there's nothing wrong, they better just go down there and just like they do in Japan, and they once a year they work alongside the rest of their crew. Get your asses down there. Nothing's wrong. I haven't seen any of you guys down there. The real heads, the government heads, all of you go down. Since there's nothing wrong, go down there and stop it, right? Go down there and stop it. No lookalikes. You got to really go down there. Don't hire lookalikes and people that there's something wrong with and they won't know not to go in there. You're saying that if it's okay, you get your behinds down there. Because once a year, they used to do that, and everybody thought that was great. The heads, the execs would come downstairs out of their offices and work side by side with their workers. So you show us. We want to see what day that is that you did it this year. Over there at TEPCO. Over there in the government. Go down there. Because there's nothing wrong. No, don't take a bus. You get off that bus. Walk out there with no radiation suits since it's all under control. And go down there and help them stop it. Am I wrong? I'm not the only one with this opinion. Just remember that. Millions of people around the world are watching this, reading these comments, reading this crap, and wondering, WTH, okay? WTH. That's all I got to say. Also, WTF. Still not reporting on it, mainstream media, and the way you do it is not the way you think it's funny. Deep, juicy secrets. No, get your behind down there since everything's out of control. And you can see what the deep secret is. Analysts. If truth admitted about Fukushima, it would have broken backbone of Japan's economy. I read that yesterday. I'm going to say something again. Without the people, you have no economy, do you? So you guys screwed up real bad by not taking care of it right away. Without the people, you have no economy. As soon as you lied, you crashed your economy. Because no one wants any of your Japanese crap full of radiation. It's in the car filters. Who's going to buy that? Oh, some people that haven't heard the real news yet. But when that comes out, who's getting sued? Who's going to be sued once the real news? See, you're going to see, that's why they're not telling anyone the real news. Because they didn't report on it. They hid it. They shipped it to other countries. They hid it. And it's not just TEPCO and the government. It's all the news media, the mainstream medias that hid it. They're all liable. And your liability insurance is not going to cover you. Your business insurance is not going to cover that. There's a clause in there. Watch. They're not going to cover that. You guys are screwed. You willfully withheld information. You willfully withheld information. Oh, well. Let's see if there's anything in the United States. When you willfully withhold information that makes you, what is that? Guilt by association? Isn't that what that is? If you're doing it, that's guilt by association. Now you're, I forgot the word for that. When you're a part of it. Because you're hiding the truth. Just like if you hit a criminal. If you're hiding a criminal, now you're guilty too. Because you're obstructing justice. But there's another word for it. It's like you're assisting, you're aiding and abetting. You're aiding and abetting. You're willfully aiding and abetting. You covered it up. You're withholding important information. There you go. And you're guilt by association, and there's another word for it when you're a part of it. Just like if you're not the one who robbed the bank, but you were driving the car or using the cameras. There you go. You're all in trouble now. And I'm not the only one that figured this out. There's like a 12-year-old kid that figured that out. There's 10-year-olds out there. You guys look terrible. Yep, you can go run and hide, but not very long. Not nowadays. You're probably all chipped. They're going to find you. They'll find you in your passport. They'll find you in your driver's license. And you might be chipped over there, huh? They'll find you. You're not going to be able to get out of this one. No, nothing new. Gunderson, radioactive snow working its way down through water column. It's loaded with cesium, which these fish are swimming through. Wow. So you're destroying the earth. And you're aiding and abetting, withholding information. Which makes you just as guilty. You're just as guilty. So's the mainstream news. Just as guilty. You're withholding important information from the public. And it's not to incite a panic anymore. Remember, it used to be it would incite a panic? No. It would break their economy. It would break their economy. They outright said, oh, we're not going to tell anyone because it would break our economy. That's illegal. Just so you know. I'm glad you admitted you didn't want to say what it was because it would have broke your economy. Oh, yes. Instead, now you're breaking the world's economy because as soon as it starts kicking in and everyone's sick from the radiation poisoning, the medical industry will crash. The doctors won't want to treat the people because they don't want to get contaminated. How many trillions of dollars have you just screwed every country out of due to the illness that's going to spread all across everywhere? And then there'll be no one left to buy your products. And your products will all be contaminated anyway. You know that, right? And that's all around the world. Oh, well. Dumbed down idiots. My peers and the generation that's letting this happen, all those people, dumbed down. Doing it to themselves. They think by withholding that, they just probably let some of their relatives. So all of you are, guess what? Doesn't matter what religion. You're going to have to answer to somebody. I'm sure in all those many different religions that are out there, I don't think this is good. And you're not going to a good place. And it's not righteous. And even if you're not religious, there's still a thing about being righteous. Don't have to have any religion. But what goes around comes around. You guys, man. Oh, well, you think you're okay? Oh, look how much I profited. Then you'll get the doctor's test in the mail. Here you go. You're one of the richest persons on the earth. But guess what? You only got about 2 months to live because now you have pancreatic cancer. Oh, you got brain tumors. You got prostate cancer. You got thyroid cancer. You got all kinds of cancers. Not just the regular people. The elite's getting it too. Oh, well, whoops. Oops, you can't see the big picture. Oh, well. I tried warning you. I don't know who your consultants are. You should have hired me because you know what? It's all going down. Then I got some comment on the internet. Ooh, you can't put a rocket with that stuff in it because it could. What if it explodes? Idiot, it's exploding anyway, isn't it? Where it's at, it's exploding and spewing out stuff anyway. Which is better, taking a chance and sending it off? Don't send it. You don't launch it over a city. But you sure have your nuclear plants in the cities by your civilians, don't you? You take it, you ship it out, and send it into deep space. And then you eject the rods. You can make little satellites, and you can do that. And if you can make space stations, you don't think they can do that? Of course they can do that. They can robotically do that. Jeez. Like, oh, you got a tiptoe. Why don't you get a real job? Hey, I'm trying to warn everybody. You think your job's going to be around once that radiation hits? Who sent me that comment? Someone that works in a restaurant? Well, if you work in a sushi bar, you're almost out of a job right now. I'm sitting here trying to get you all the information out. It's okay you want to be a troll, but do you understand? I haven't really had too many bad trolls because now they're seeing everything I talked about is slowly coming out. I'm just doing a service for you since, people they're not telling you what's going on. You'll hear it about a week later from what I'm telling you, or even a month. Some of this is 6 months later that it pops out. I'm 6 months early. You're getting a heads up. You're going to troll me? Fine. But guess what? That doesn't mean the radiation doesn't go through you when you're on the plane. And if you smile, it's not going to hurt you. No, that doesn't work that way. I'm trying to give everyone the heads up. The trolls or whoever. Doesn't matter. I don't know this word troll just because I don't like. Sure, you're entitled to your opinion and I'll read it. You can make fun of me. I do some things that are funny, kind of break the monotony of it all. Wear my aluminum hat, but you know what? There's some fact behind that, okay? Just like a Faraday cage. You know, when the CME comes, you better have your good equipment in a Faraday cage or in a metal container. Including your head, probably. You don't think your brain's going to be affected? Alright then. Oh, and someone wrote something on June 8th and said, cool ghost. They said something else and then they said, oh, good info, and then they said, cool ghost. So I went back and looked at it, and starting at about 30 minutes in to the video, it's the one with Dr. Deagle. There is a couple things in there that shouldn't be there. And the dog, see, the dog was behind me. I didn't see what he was barking at, but he's looking up on the ceiling and barking. That's kind of spooky. There's some spook-ass stuff in that video. So, yes, you were right. Something to the right of me, or whatever it was over in this area behind me, it looked like some kind of a real little troll or something with two bracelets. It looked like something out of one of those little Middle Earth movies. It was over here. What kind of alienation is that? And then there was another one up behind me is where my hat is, way above me, a little gold hat, and that looked like a woman's face up in there. And then the dog's up looking at the ceiling. So if you don't believe in that stuff, go ahead and look at June 8th. June 8th had a couple of crazy things in there. And some great thing off to the side, too. Kind of looked like, I thought it was the cat, but it was sitting still the whole time. It looked like, I don't know, it looked like some kind of, I don't know what it was. It wasn't the cat. I don't know what it was. Chupacabra. I don't know what it was. But I'm not making that up. Go back to June 8th and look at that, and started around 30 minutes into it. It was bizarre. I couldn't believe that. I was looking at that off and on. In between the Dr. Deagle thing, when I came back, just keep forwarding to that. Bizarre. So if you want to see a real ghost, I guess that guy who, it was Eyes, Easy Eyes or something. You look at the comment on June 8th, and you'll see it. I want to thank you for that. I looked at it now. I don't want to look at it anymore because it scared me. Alrighty then. My life can't be normal, can it? No. Alrighty then. That was your Monday's report. Hope I didn't blabber on too much. And see, I can't swear too much. I'm wearing a dress today. It's not very ladylike. Okay, so it's one day down, 4 to go before the weekend. You have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. We got through it. And, oh, wait a minute. I am so sorry. Today is Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday. It's 2 days down. I am so sorry. It's 2 days down. See, I do this every day after a while. Whoa. You know? Weird noises out there. 2 days down. 3 to go before the weekend. It is Tuesday. I'm sorry. It's Tuesday evening. I might have said Monday at the beginning. So sorry. It is June 12th, Tuesday. And you have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. I'll see you again tomorrow. I go live, so I'm going to make some mistakes. I don't redo this. And I'm looking back there. See? And I'm looking... Wait, let me look behind me. And it was... right to my... When you're looking at the screen, above my right shoulder, it looked like a woman's head. And then to the left of me, on this side, right here somewhere, it's right here, it was like, it looked like a little troll thing out of a movie. I'm not making it up. It's on the tape. Alrighty then? And then the dog's barking and looking up and growling, not even realizing what he's doing. So check that out. I'll put that in the description box. And you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Take care.